Could the Dallas Cowboys be on the verge of the most explosive, franchise-altering free agency period we have seen in a decade? The whispers coming out of the league meetings and the scout reports are turning into absolute roars, and if even half of these rumors are true, the star on the helmet is about to shine a lot brighter. We are talking about massive reunions, high-stakes defensive overhauls, and a potential pass-rushing monster that could make this defense the most feared unit in the NFL. Before we dive into the chaos and break down these potential game-changers, do me a huge favor and smash that like button, share this with every Cowboys fan you know, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a second of this off-season madness. Now, let's get real for a second. How many outside free agents do you honestly think Jerry Jones and the front office are going to pull the trigger on this year? We know the history, we know the all-in promises that sometimes fall flat, but this year feels different, doesn't it? Let's start with the backfield because things are getting very interesting with a familiar face. Rico Dowdle has spent the last year out in Carolina, and while the Panthers' season was a bit of a train wreck, Rico was a lone bright spot. He put up nearly identical numbers to his previous stint in Dallas, 4.6 yards per carry, which is elite efficiency by any standard. But here is the kicker. Rico was down at Radio Row recently, and when he was asked about coming back to the Big D, he didn't hold back. He said he isn't shutting any doors and would be more than open to a return if the situation is right. Think about that for a second. The man knows the building, he knows the culture, and he clearly still has the juice. The market projections for him are sitting between $6.5 million and $8.5 million per year. Is that a price tag the Cowboys can stomach? Last year, the team put their faith in Javonte Williams, and to be fair, Javonte exceeded almost every expectation we had. He was a hammer. But as we stand here today, Javonte is still reportedly in the process of finalizing a new agent. That delay is the crack in the door that Rico Dowdle might just kick wide open. Do you stick with the guy who brought you to the dance in Javonte, or do you bring back the explosive playmaker in Rico who already has a shorthand with the offense? It is a classic head versus heart debate for the front office. Type JW for Javonte Williams or RD for Rico Dowdle in the comments right now. I want to see where the loyalty lies. Speaking of loyalty, let's shift to the defensive side of the ball where the linebacker room looks like it's been hit by a cyclone. We are looking at a total overhaul. Logan Wilson is likely gone, Kenneth Murray was a project that just didn't yield the results we wanted, and Jack Sanborn is probably packing his bags. That leaves us with DeMarvion Overshown, who we all love, but the man has struggled to stay on the field. We need a titan in the middle. We need a heat-seeking missile. Enter Devin Lloyd. The Jaguars are in a massive bind because of how the NFL categorizes linebackers. Because guys like TJ Watt are labeled as linebackers, the franchise tag for that position has ballooned to a staggering $27.45 million. There is no world where Jacksonville pays that for a non-pass rushing linebacker. That means Devin Lloyd is almost certainly hitting the open market, and the bidding war is going to be legendary. We are talking about a guy who just picked off 5 passes and showed massive growth in coverage. Question of the day: if the bidding for Devin Lloyd hits $18 million or $20 million per year, making him one of the highest-paid linebackers in the history of the league, should the Cowboys win that war, or is that too much salt for the bread? Let me know your thoughts below. Is he the missing piece or a salary cap nightmare? The projections are all over the place. Some experts say 3 years for $48 million, others are saying it could go as high as $60 million. If the Cowboys are serious about a Super Bowl run, they can't keep shopping in the bargain bin for linebackers. They need a star. But if $18 million a year makes you lose your appetite, there is a plan B that might be even more intriguing because of the family ties. Quincy Williams of the New York Jets. We've joked about him being a pre-Cowboy for a while now, mainly because his brother, Quinnen Williams, has mentioned how much Quincy keeps tabs on the team. Quincy is coming off a bit of a weird year where the Jets coaching staff seemingly lost their minds, benching him and then refusing to trade him. His coverage numbers dipped, and his yards allowed per catch jumped to nearly 12 yards. That sounds bad, right? But look at the context. That Jets team was a sinking ship. When Quincy is on, he is a tackle machine with a mean streak that this Cowboys defense desperately needs. At a projected one-year deal worth around $8 million or $9 million, he is the ultimate, low-risk, high-reward move. He brings the attitude, the bloodline, and the chip on his shoulder. But let's get to the big fish. The name that has every fan in Texas losing their mind. Trey Hendrickson. Hendrickson has been one of the most consistent sack artists in the league, a literal 17.5 sack per season monster. But he's coming off a labor surgery and he's hitting that dreaded 32-year-old mark this December. The Bengals might be ready to move on, and the rumors have the Cowboys listed as one of the top 3 landing spots in the entire NFL. Imagine a world where you have Micah Parsons on one side and Trey Hendrickson on the other. How does an offensive coordinator even sleep at night? You can't double-team both of them. You can't chip both of them. It would be defensive Armageddon for the rest of the NFC East. The cost is the hurdle. We're looking at $25 million per year on a 2-year deal. That is, sell your house, kind of money. But for a guy who was just a year removed from nearly breaking the sack record, is it worth it? Some people are scared of the injury, scared of the age. But the free agent crop this year is thin, and if you want elite talent, you have to pay the elite tax. If Hendrickson is willing to take a 1-year, prove-it deal for $21 million, do you pull the trigger instantly? I think you have to. You don't get many chances to pair 2 generational pass rushers together in their prime, or near prime. The landscape of this team is changing right before our eyes. From the backfield battle between Rico and Javonte to the high-priced sweepstakes for Devin Lloyd and the veteran presence of Quincy Williams, the options are there. And then there's the nuclear option, Trey Hendrickson. This off-season isn't just about filling holes, it's about making a statement. It's about showing the rest of the league that the Dallas Cowboys aren't just content with winning 10 or 11 games and bowing out. It's about building a roster that can withstand the pressure of the postseason. Every name we discussed today brings something different to the table. Rico brings familiarity and efficiency. Devin Lloyd brings youth and elite coverage traits. Quincy Williams brings value and a physical edge. And Trey Hendrickson. He brings the fear of God to opposing quarterbacks. The front office is at a crossroads. Do they play it safe and sign the Quincy Williams types of the world, or do they go for the throat and bring in the big names like Lloyd and Hendrickson? History tells us they might be conservative, but the pressure has never been higher. The fans are restless, the window is open, and the talent is available. Make sure you're subscribed because as soon as the first ink hits the paper, we're going to be live breaking it all down. We're going to look at the cap implications, the depth chart changes, and what it means for the draft. This is the most critical month of the year for the future of this franchise. What do you think the percentage chance is that we actually land a superstar like Trey Hendrickson? Is it a pipe dream, or is Jerry finally ready to open the checkbook? Whatever happens, it's going to be a wild ride. Keep it locked right here for every update, every rumor, and every confirmed signing as the Dallas Cowboys look to rebuild, reload, and finally reclaim their spot at the top of the mountain. We'll see you in the next one.